Hi, boys and girls. Our first read of seasons is today, and this is our lesson 13 anchor text in our Journeys, grade 1, unit 3, student text. And seasons, have you ever noticed how each season's different and how, for example, the trees are different in each season? Yes, Mrs. Gillum did this. This is winter. This is a winter tree. In the winter, have you noticed that the trees lose their leaves, all of them, and it's super cold outside? And in the spring, they start to grow up. The little leaves start to grow again because the air is warmer and there's more moisture because maybe the snow was melting and making the ground nice and damp. And in the summer, it's super hot and the leaves grow bigger and bigger and bigger. These once tiny leaves grow big, so it's hot in the summer. And then in the fall, trees begin losing their leaves because the weather gets colder. And then it starts over again. So seasons just like keep on starting over again. So here's a picture. Here's a picture. Let's talk about some of the words that show the difference between, I guess, summer and winter. So in the summer, it's hot or it's very warm. And in the winter, it's cold. Sometimes there's snow, very rarely here in Mojave, but it does get super cold and you have to dress warm in the winter. This word says tree and this word says snow. Okay, so that's all I really want to say. There's each season is different. So now let's go ahead and read the story about the seasons. And this is by Pat Cummings. She's the one that wrote all the words. And this is informational text. You can tell an informational text selection because many times it has photographs. That just means everything you're going to read is a fact. So Seasons by Pat Cummings. Spring. In the spring, fresh winds blow. We plant new seeds and green buds grow. So if you plant the seeds, like for example in the winter, they're not going to grow because it's just way too cold. But in the spring it starts to get warm, so they'll grow. We're still in the spring. Eggs hatch open. Little chicks sing. The sun is out. It must be spring. So there's a mama bird. Her eggs hatch in the spring when there are plenty of worms and insects everywhere because everything's warming up. And she feeds them and they sing. When they say they sing, they open their mouth and make lots of noise. They more like they cheep. The grass gets wet. Splish, splash, splish. When we step, we hear it squish. So these are galoshes, and it's raining outside, obviously. They have their raincoats on. They have an umbrella. And when it rains, or especially after it rains, like on the sidewalks and in the grass, the little worms come up to the top, and that's when the mama birds go and get the worms to feed their babies. Oh, a different season. Summer. Remember in summer it's super hot? Then summer is here, and it gets hot. We are not in school. We play a lot. Yep, they're blowing bubbles. Oh, I'm sorry. You see them outside blowing their bubbles? Bugs buzz and hum. The plants grow tall. Next to them, I look small. So insects are not, it's like they all die off in the wintertime. It's too freezing cold for them. But in the summer, That's their day. That's their time. You see them everywhere. Summer goes fast, and when it ends, we will go back to school with all our friends. This is a bit of a rhyming book, isn't it? Tall, small, ends, friends. Oh, what's the next season? Fall. In fall, the leaves are red, yellow, and brown. In a gust of wind, they will fall down. So when the weather starts to get colder, the leaves, they just don't get enough sun, they're too cold, and they just fall off the trees. The leaves crunch as we jump and hop. It is such fun we cannot stop. Oh, they're all having a lot of fun, jumping and hopping and playing in the leaves. And notice that they're dressed up warm because the weather is cooler in the fall. Aw, let's see what this animal does. Animals get nuts and pack them away. They will have lots to eat on a cold day. Like people, we can go to stores and get food from the stores, but squirrels they can't, like if you saw a squirrel in Walmart trying to buy some food, everyone would be chasing him out. He can't buy food there. So he has to go collect nuts himself, and then he hides them in places in his burrow, and he digs holes, puts them here and there. He packs them away. Okay, now it's winter. When it is winter, cold winds blow. It is fun to sled on the soft snow. So maybe it doesn't snow in Mojave except for once every 3 or 4 years, but in some places it snows every year. And if you have a sled, then it will be fun to go sledding. Oh, look at that. What does this animal do? When it is cold, some animals rest. This animal has a nap in a nest. So there's nothing to do if he goes outside. He'll get covered in snow, so he just stays resting inside of his little burrow. A hat on a shelf gives us a plan. We will put the hat on a big snowman. I like that hat. It's got bands of different colors on it and matching gloves. I like how they decorated their snowman. I don't like how they put their carrot right between the two eyes. Noses are supposed to be down here, but they did a good job. Oh, look. We have the names of all of the seasons here. So winter, spring, summer, fall. Okay, let's say those again. Winter, it's really cold in the winter. Spring, it's wet and it starts to warm up, but it's not too warm. You still have to wear clothes that will keep you warm. And so after winter we have spring, and after spring ends, we have summer. It gets even hotter. And after summer ends, then it's time for fall. That's when all the leaves fall. That's why they call it fall. They also call it autumn. Okay, so those are our 4 seasons. If anyone ever asks you on a test, what are the 4 seasons? You'll say, and you don't have to say them in order, but we will. Winter, spring, summer, fall. Winter, spring, summer, fall. Which is best? We like them all, and I like them all too. Okay, let's read our questions. What do animals do in different seasons? Okay, well, let's remember we can be resourceful and look in our textbook to find the animals. So in the spring, mother and father birds, their babies hatch and they feed them. They build nests too. That's spring. Let's see what they do. Huh, did we skip summer? I didn't see an animal for the summer. Oh, they didn't talk about animals in the summer, but in the fall they talked about the squirrel collecting nuts and packing them away so he would have plenty to eat when there's a whole bunch of snow covering his burrow. Okay, and then we talked about some animals, they're so bored, they can't go outside, they just sleep a lot inside of their burrows. They hunker down. How do plants change from spring to summer to fall? Okay, I had shown you in this tree, in this, these right here, from spring to summer to fall. Um, so let's just look at the pictures in this book. Okay, so in spring, it looks like they start growing. The plants start to grow and they're green. Okay, so they're just getting started growing. In summer, hmm, in summer, the plants grow big and tall. And in fall, they die off. Basically, if you're an annual plant, if you're not one of those like Christmas tree looking trees, those are called evergreens, then your leaves will fall. So that's how they change. And let's do our last question. Tell what the seasons are like where you live. Well, I have to say, in Mojave, um, it's hot for most of the year. You'll have some really warm days in May, June, July, August, September, some of October, and then you'll have more temperate weather in the winters. We don't have a lot of snow. So compared to some places that have snow, I would say that it doesn't really change up a lot where we live, but you can still tell when it's winter because you have to wear clothes like this. All right, boys and girls, until next time, toodaloo.